Hi there, welcome to my channel. I've got a lot to talk to you guys about in this video, but I'll start off by saying my name's Orlando, and about 2 weeks ago I left everything I'd ever known behind in order to travel halfway across the planet and follow my dreams. This is how it went. So the first few days was all about getting settled in, lots of paperwork and boring stuff, and cleaning my room, which was in a gross condition when I arrived. I'm living in a share house with 4 other people and a dog. And whilst a big part of my move here was for the sunshine and the fishing, I'm also here to do a university degree, but I'll talk more about that in another video. Anyways, it wasn't that long until I got started on the project that was the fishing kayak. Right, look at that. How cool is that? That is super. The great thing is, the bike is not actually mine, it's shared by the house, but since this is a quick release, all I have to attach to the bike is this little bit, so then I don't take up, I don't always have to have it attached to the bike so other people can use it. Then, after spending hours scouting out and budgeting at my local fishing shop, it was finally time to get into the good stuff. Alright guys, I'm back. And I'm so excited to show you what I got today. This was literally the funnest day of all time. Gotta start with the rods. Oh, and by the way, basically I have set the whole thing up so that I could literally go offshore tomorrow and catch a marlin, you know? That's sort of what I had in my head with this. So, the first rod is the heavy duty one, Shimano Backbone Elite, and it's all roller eyes. Super nice. And then I went again with Shimano, they are my favourite make. And this one I'm super stoked about as well. Shimano Cranks Jig Rod. This is sort of a flexible rod, and it'll be the other one in the trolling rod holders. And then finally, I got this sort of multi-purpose bait catching rod slash reef fishing rod slash if I just want to go down to the beach and catch a fish. I think it's a sub of Shimano as well. Other things I'm very excited by the way, this going through all this stuff and buying the stuff that I'd seen on all the boats in Tanzania and stuff when I was small, it was such a good feeling. Here is a priest, I believe is the correct term. I think you can just call it a fish bat. So it's half for being as humane as possible, and also fish can be really dangerous if they're big, and to get them under control quickly. So this is a little fiberglass gaff. You can see it's 85 centimeters. It's like the perfect length for off a kayak. While we're on the topic of fish handling, very average pliers, and then fish gloves. As I said, I'm ready for the marlin, so you know, when that thing comes up alongside, you gotta grab the bill with something and can't grab it with your hand. I mean, these are useful for pretty much any fish that comes out of the ocean. They've all got horrible spines and stuff like that, so yeah, fish gloves. I also got this laminated fish guide. Next up, we have a little bit of general tackle, a little bit of line. I got this as well. This is a fish bag. If I do catch fish, I do want to be eating it, and I do want to be keeping it fresh. And it's 1 meter long, so I might have to saw out my marlin into 2 or 3 pieces, but it should keep it fresh. Next up, a little bit of safety gear. The only thing that I'm missing here is a radio because they were out of stock in the shop, but I'll be getting onto that soon. Got my little first aid kit, little air horn, and then I've got this, since I'm probably going to be setting out at least in pretty much complete darkness, and this will protect me from, hopefully, from colliding with actual boats. On the topic of safety, I also got this discounted life jacket as well. I've never actually fished with live bait before, so that's sort of a new thing for me, but I've seen everyone do it on YouTube with like these. You just sort of hang off the side of the kayak and it keeps stuff alive. Last but not least, this. Now I couldn't afford a super high-end fish finder, but this one does at least detect things and it will give me the depth, and I can put marks sort of on a blank screen, but I can at least keep some marks. So very basic, but a must have, and the first one I've ever owned as well. That was it. I was pretty much geared up. The only thing missing, of course, was the kayak itself. Right, it's coming right now and I'm very excited. And that's it. Now I prepared myself for buying a simple, top of the bottom range, plastic blown, everyday fishing kayak. But in a last minute turn of events, I managed to get my hands on something very, very special. Something that I would never have dreamed that I would have been able to have, definitely not at this point in my life. There it is, guys. How cool is this? Oh my gosh, it's like a dream come true. She is here, she is in great condition. About 8 years old, I think, but hardly used in the last 4 years, not used at all, and kept in storage. Guys, so here's a speed run of the kayak and what I've done to it. So mandatory fishing stickers, got this nav light on here so that boats can see me when I launch early in the morning. Got the front storage over here, and then this pole is in the mast holder and it's for visibility and also for the GoPro. I've got the space in there for the Mirage drive, which of course is the hands-free pedaling system that makes these kayaks so special, and I've got the turbo fins, the extended fins to go with it, so I'm excited to try that. The fish finder's up on here. Basically all the modifications I've made here to this kayak are meant to be sort of temporary. So the fish finder I put on with Velcro, mounted on a little bit of wood and connected to the battery which I've put in the front, and then the cable runs through the kayak, under the seat, and to the transducer which I've mounted under there. Got my water holder here. This is for the live bait, right? And right now it's stored above the water level for moving around, but then when I want to use the live bait well, unclip it from here, and then it drops down, and of course it'll drag along in the water like that. And then if I need it to go deeper down in the water, all I have to do is pull that out however deep I want and then hook it back in, and that's it. Moving back, I've got this that I made myself, which slots into the wheel holders. It's just PVC and wood. Both rods are leashed in. These are my heavy rods in the trawling spots. I got the fish bat over here roped in. This is the keep it cool fish bag, and that's a storage, but I'm not using it. And then at the back, we've got the tiller. And this thing is super. Literally, all I have to do is, if I want to drop it down into the water, I pull this toggle, and then if I want to pull it back up again, I pull this one. And to steer, it's just with your hand on the side. How cool is that? And then moving on to this storage. Don't know if it's stock, but this one came with this tray for tackle. I got my fishing lures and camera gear and camera batteries. Then if I take this out, I've got this little handle to a bag, my phone in a waterproof case, the safety gear, a bit more fishing tackle, sort of general little bits and bobs. And then over here I've got a little bit of storage where I've got my knife, pliers and scissors, as well as a fish glove and the sabiki rig, because I know I'm going to be using it straight away. Then I've got the paddle also leashed on like pretty much everything else. And then sorry, around here I've got the trailer, the wheels for the kayak and the bike. So yeah, it was just 2 days later when I got to take the kayak out for the first time to do a trial run, which was interesting. No, but more seriously, it was my bad. I decided to completely ignore a thunderstorm warning because I was just so excited to get the kayak out on the water. And whilst I wasn't able to cross the bar and get out into the ocean like I wanted to that day, I did manage to mess around a little bit in the bay and get a bit of practice in catching live baits and sort of little fish. And so I caught some of these yakkers, which is what they call them here, and a couple of other species as well. I think this is a tailor, maybe, a really small one. And then this is like a weird diamond-shaped fish that I didn't recognize. And after doing that, I got a chance to paddle around and see the area a little bit more. I'm just gonna pull up to this little beach here and maybe just stop for a second and have my lunch or something like that. There is a literal dolphin right here. Oh my gosh. It just chased some mullet into the shallows. Look, over there. I'm really sorry for the poor storytelling. Basically, it rained for like hours and hours and hours and hours straight this morning. I'm now here on this little private beach in the sort of Broadwater area. So the trip has basically been an absolute disaster. I am glad I've done it because it's given me a chance to see what it's like in the new kayak, to see all my gear trying to work together, and to see the area as well. I mean, I didn't get this stuff on film, guys, because it was pouring down, but I saw like spinner sharks jumping out of the water. I saw a turtle came up right next to me for a breath of air. And just now, literally right here in like no water at all, a dolphin came in chasing a mullet all the way to the side. I'm starving hungry, so I packed a little pasta and I'm gonna eat that, and maybe I can just go fishing here from this little beach and just make a video out of that instead. Sort of turning the worst situation into the best situation. And that's all she wrote. I've got lots more to tell you guys about my new life, and as you can see, there's plenty of improvements to be made to the kayak for the next time that I take it out. But hopefully I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Thanks for watching.